So, we are now ready for the native costume competition. The native category makes up about 20% of this contest and the final score. So here, the judges panel will look for the most authentic costume, originality, how well the costume wears, the appropriateness of the costume, as well as poise, appearance, grace, grooming, eye contact, posture, and carriage in the costume. Please meet Mr. Candidate number 1. Tonight, Charles is dressed as the Sing-Kil Prince. Sing-Kil is the famous dance of the Murano people of Lake Lanao, which is of the Muslim suite. Sing-Kil is the story of Princess Gandagan, who was caught in the middle of a forest during an earthquake caused by the duotans, or fairies of the forest. The valiant prince sees the distressed princess and leads her to safety. The royal blue seen on Charles represents masculinity, the gold represents wealth, and the pink represents Charles' inner peace. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 1, Mr. Charles Ruffin. And now meet candidate number 2. Marcus is dressed as an Idao warrior from the Luzon region. The Idao warriors are the hunters of the mountain people. And the Idao warriors would go out in search of the sacred Idao bird, which is said to hold mysterious power and will lead the tribe to victory. The Idao warriors display courage, strength, and discipline. The clothing that Marcus is wearing represents the assertive workings of each and every one of their people. The markings and symbols on every warrior is a sign for each battle they've endured and survived. Marcus's choices of weaponry are the traditional spear and shield, reflecting the warrior's strength and tenacity. For the last standing warrior of a battle, it is tradition to show dominance with a howl. The cry is not only used for his victory, as it is wielded to call upon his loyal warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 2, Mr. Carl Marcus Mateo. And our third candidate, the Tinikling dance, is honored as the Philippine national dance and comes from the rural suite. The dance involves 2 people beating, tapping, and sliding bamboo poles on the ground and against each other in coordination with 1 or more dancers who step over and in between the poles. The dance imitates the movements of the tinikling birds as they walk between grass stems, run over tree branches, or dodge bamboo traps set by rice farmers. Dancers imitate the tinikling bird's legendary grace and speed by skillfully maneuvering between the large bamboo poles. Eric is dressed in a colorful shirt and trouser, typical for the rural suite, as it expresses their joy in work, a love for music, and pleasure in the simplicities of life. He would like to thank Mrs. Taruk for helping him out with his costume. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 3, Mr. Eric Morales. Now to our Miss candidates, and candidate number 1. Contestant number 1's native wear is known to be the Sing-Kil Princess. Sing-Kil is known to be one of the oldest cultural dances around the Philippines. Originating from Mindanao, the dance revolves around the story of Princess Gandagan, who was caught in the middle of the forest during that earthquake. On Lisa's costume, the gold represents her royalty. The bells worn on her ankles represent her arrival, as she gracefully avoids the falling bamboo trees. And her fans represent the auspicious winds during that earthquake. As she goes through the forest, her scarf and fan, slaves follow her footsteps, serving the princess until a royal prince comes and saves her from the catastrophe. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 1, Miss Lisa Dada. Candidate number 2 in the Oya Oya is a dance performed by the U.F.O community. U.F.O is the rice terraces of the Philippines. It means earth people. And tonight, Sabrina is portraying a child of the earth. The U.F.O of Mayagao contain a variety of kanyas, each having a different purpose: weddings, hope for a good harvest, success in war, or the death of a prominent villager. The greatest kanyao is the Oya Oya, which is celebrated by a kangangan, or a chieftain of the village, to declare social status, and his entry to the village's council of elders. Sabrina wears a headdress representing good luck of the harvest. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 2, Miss Sabrina Rajuda. Tonight, candidate number 3 is dressed as a Binasuan dancer. Binasuan is a colorful and lively cultural dance from the Pangasinan, a province of the Philippines on the island of Luzon. Binasuan means with the use of drinking glass. And as you can see, Shyla is balancing glasses filled with rice wine on both of her hands and one on her head while gracefully dancing. She is dressed in a balintawak, consisting of a dress and skirt. The balintawak is a native dress for Filipino women, woven of local fibers with a handkerchief and apron to match. Binasuan is often danced at weddings and fiestas all around the Philippines as a way for the people to express thanks to the gods for blessing and prosperity. Shayla would like to thank Mrs. Turuk for helping her with her costume. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 3 is Shyla Pinolia. Now candidate number 4. This evening, Bailey Serta is dressed as a Jangay dancer. The Igal Jangay is a dance of the Bajau people of the southern island of Sulu. This smooth and flowing dance is performed with highly articulated form and with a quiet and elegant face. Jangay refers to the long brass fingernails worn by the women. The Jangay is intended to enhance the length of the fingers and magnify each of the wrist flicks, while it serves as an extension. Tonight, Bailey is wearing a typical costume consisting of eccentric colors, such as silver, which is the custom of the traditional Muslim suite. She's wearing a hairpiece that is significant of the regal and superior status associated with Muslim dances, such as the Jangay. And Bailey chose this dance because she was inspired by her grandpa, Carlos Pangudan, to really embrace her Filipino culture. She feels this dance inspires her to learn more about her heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 4, Miss Bailey Serta. most beautiful sights you've ever seen? Just gorgeous. Thank you, candidates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome the United Filipino Organization dancers as they perform the Philippines' national dance, the Tinikling. Please welcome the United Filipino Organization dancers. Beautiful job, thank you. One more hand for the United